Hello everyone, and this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling on January 9th, 2014. And I'm just going to say it right from the get-go. Outside of two segments on this show, the rest of it just sucked. It was bad. It was horrible. It pretty much destroyed a career, and probably will never be able to get this person over in any way, shape, or form as even storyline-wise, as a credible world champion. So I'm going to go off and say before I talk about the whole how they decided to book the AJ Styles Magnus match. I'm going to go off on the segments I did like. The Kurt Angle open challenge for the steel cage match. Having Bobby Roode coming out to do the promo to set up their match for next week on Genesis was a great way of doing it. And then the match with Kazarian and Daniels versus Kurt Angle was also very well done, very good steel cage match. Very enjoyable to watch. One of the few things that was enjoyable to watch. The other aspect to the show that was a very enjoyable segment was the Mr. Anderson Bully Ray segment. Them going back to the funeral home that they did the whole Aces and Eights funeral at was a great way, setting up their match for the for Genesis as well with next week's Impact show. Great promo delivered by Bully Ray. I like the whole symbolism of putting the baby clothing into the coffin for Mr. Anderson, as he had done for the Bully Ray's Aces and Eights colors. That was a great touch in there. I like where they're going with Bully Ray's character at this point. He just comes off really good at what he's doing right now. His promos are great, and just the segment in general was pulled off magnificently. I thought it was great. Now, this pretty much brings me to what the rest of the show was. Them setting up the whole World Heavyweight title match with AJ Styles and Magnus, and just the whole debacle that it was. I say debacle not in the basis of it being considered real or anything, but just in the way they decided to book it. You have a chance here tonight with AJ Styles leaving the company to put over your new guy. Put over someone new in the terms of Magnus. You could have had, they could have booked the match to have the two of them go out there and just have a very fun, very long match in general. And what you ended up getting was this no disqualification. We're not even going to have a match. We're just going to have a bunch of run-ins. We're just going to play this angle for the rest of the night that they're injuring all of AJ Styles' friends or getting them all out of the building so they can't help them type deal. It was horribly booked, overbooked, just in every way, shape, or form. Just done badly. You almost felt like Vince Russo was booking the match in general, and we know he's gone from the company at this point in time. And honestly, I will go off and say that the way they booked this match, and I've seen WCW in the later days and how they booked matches late in the WCW days, this is by far the worst booked match I've ever seen pulled off in any way, shape, or form. It just didn't come off good. Like I said before, way overbooked. Just a complete fiasco in my mind of what's going on. Like halfway through the run-ins, I almost wanted to, not even bother watching the rest of the match because you knew what was going on. More people would run in, blah 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 blah. Or AJ might kick out a few more times, and eventually they'll put Magnus over. And in all honesty, you could definitely see them going that way with the match right from the get-go when they made it no DQ to begin with. And then the whole aspect that all of a sudden all of AJ's friends are being taken out backstage, and of course, that's how they were going to book it in general, to make sure he didn't have it, to make sure they didn't have. They gave at least a reason why none of AJ's friends are helping him at this point in time. So, just like I said before, horribly booked. in this sense, you had a great chance to put Magnus over as a world champion. Now pretty much his world title run and how they book him for the rest of it is just completely null and void, because no one's gonna even believe anything that he is a credible competitor or anything like that. And I'm talking this in a sense of just the being able to book the rest of his world title run, because and typically in wrestling, a way you want to book somebody to go over is to have, or you want them to be over as a champion, even if they're as a heel champion. You want to book them at some point in time going over in a clean type match. This was their chance to do that with an established star like AJ Styles, and they just completely blew it and decided to go with a whole, let's just do 15 run-ins and you'll win the match now. So, all in all, outside of those 2 segments I said at the beginning of the show, the entire show just sucked. It was bad. It was a horrible show. Like I said, probably about halfway through the show and halfway through that last match, I just asked myself, why am I even bother watching? But I did get through the rest of it, and I don't know. Hopefully next week will be a lot better, well booked. They seem to have at least something decent there. The whole EC3 and Sting match, that should be very interesting. Obviously they're going to continue something with Sting and Dixie Carter and EC3 there, so we'll see where that actually goes. You have Madison Rayne and Gail Kim. They didn't really do anything with that this week, so the match is just there from the whole aspect that Madison Rayne beat Gail Kim earlier, or a few weeks ago, and now she gets her Knockout Titles match. Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle with a steel cage, obviously, where they're going to be having if Kurt Angle loses, he can never be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. That should be an interesting one. I'd like the build up for that. And then, of course, I like the build up for Mr. Anderson and Bully Ray in this one. So next week's looking promising. This week completely sucked. Hopefully next week will be a lot better. So yeah, that was my review this week for TNA Impact Wrestling. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.